Lesson 1. A definite chief aim. You can do it if you believe you can. This course has been organized from chapter to chapter based on known factors that have been used and must always be used by successful people. It should be kept in mind from the first lesson to the last that the value of the philosophy lies entirely in the thought stimuli it will produce in the mind of the student, and not merely in the lessons themselves. The author had traveled to watch Jack Dempsey train for an upcoming battle. He had noticed that the boxer did not rely on one form of exercise, but used punching bag to train one set of muscles, also improving his eye coordination, while using dumbbells for another set of muscles. This relates to the human mind. The mind requires for its development a variety of exercise just as the physical body. As stated in the introduction, you must take notes while watching this course. Thoughts or ideas will come, and you must be prepared to write them down. By following this practice, it will be noticed very soon that the mind has become like a magnet and that it will attract useful ideas right out of the thin air. None of us can believe that we know everything about one subject. There is always more to learn. The author states, "I have often seen in my imagination the great marker who stands at the gateway entrance of life and writes, 'Poor fool,' on the brow of those who believe they are wise, and 'poor sinners' in the brow of those who believe they are saints." Humility is a forerunner of success. It's important we study and understand others, our environment, and whom we interact with. Understanding personalities makes it very easy to understand the outcome of those conversations or the person's intentions. To know others, not as they seem to be, but as they really are, study them through. 1. The posture of the body and the way they walk. 2. The tone of the voice, its quality, pitch, volume. 3. The eyes, whether shifty or direct. 4. The use of words, their trend, nature, and quality. Through these open windows, you may literally walk right into a man's soul and take a look at the real man. Going a step further, if you would like to know people, study them well. When they're angry, when in love, when money is involved, when eating, alone and observe as they believe, when writing, when in trouble, when joyful and triumph, when downcast and defeated, when facing catastrophe of a hazardous nature, when trying to make a good impression on others, when informed of another's misfortune, when informed of another good fortune, when losing in any sort of a game of sport, when winning in a sport, when alone in a meditative mood. By studying one individual, you may literally walk into that person's soul. The author shares a story of a Greenland Eskimo who has traveled to NYC and saw big buildings, bridges, lights, and brought back his experience to his village. Unfortunately, this truth led people to call him a sagluk, which meant liar. They were not open to this new idea or what may exist beyond them. Another Greenland Eskimo has traveled and noticed the same. In fear of being called a sagluk, he lied by stating how he took a boat near the Hudson River to hunt. Many people in the past have been punished for speaking the truth. Socrates sipping the hammock, Christ crucified, Stephen stoned, Bruno burned at the stake, and Galileo terrified into retraction on his starry truths. Something in human nature makes us resent the impact of new ideas. A person should always refresh their mind and be open to new environment. A farmer should visit the city often, just as a city individual should visit the farms. The mind becomes stagnant, and it's important to expose your mind to new societies and even new food. Be open and embrace change. As you follow along, These ideas or teachings may be familiar or unfamiliar to you. Just be open-minded. The major evil the student is requested to avoid is that of forming opinions without definite facts as a basis. Mastermind groups have proven to be successful. The author has sent this course to 2 prominent universities at his time to have professors who were competent to edit it, and nothing was changed except for 2 slight wordings. It shows how effective this course has been, and the mastermind group is the beginning of the success. Success is the development of the power with which to get whatever one wants in life without interfering with the rights of others. Remember this: power is organized energy or effort. All successful people such as Carnegie, Rockefeller, Hill, Harriman, Ford have understood and applied the principle of organized effort. Hill had once questioned Carnegie on what attributed to a success. Carnegie had replied with, "What is your definition of success?" Basically, money isn't success. It's something that is measured, but the behaviors that leads to this money is the success. His actions and behaviors was to have a mastermind group, which led to the success of his business. A mastermind has no individual being the master, but instead the multiple brains working together to be the master. In current times, we have meetings at work or group presentations in school. Most of the time, we utilize these meetings the wrong way. We like to dictate or allow others to take charge, limiting our thoughts. We must practice to combine minds to achieve success. The purpose of mastermind groups is not only to blend minds, but to attain a definite chief aim. Every strategist, whether in business or war or industry, all understand the power of organized, coordinated effort. The author tells the story of a father who had 7 sons, who always fought amongst one another. One day, the father had them hold a bundle of sticks and asked them to break it. None could. He cut the strings and gave each piece to one. They all broke, each one in harmony. This was achieved by working together with one purpose and effort. The same goes for this mastermind group. Multiple minds is more powerful than just one. These multiple minds must sync in harmony. There was a man who worked in a workshop who was very competent, even more than Ford as a workman. This man received half the wage of $100, while Ford exceeded to great wealth. The difference is that Ford understood and applied the principle of organized effort while the other man did not. These are the 3 outstanding powers in the world of organized effort. They are the churches, the schools, and the media. What would happen if these 3 powers came together in harmony to create a definite purpose? It would change our society and norms which we live by. Power is organized effort, and success is based upon power. A definite chief aim is critical to not drifting through life. Any definite chief aim that is deliberately fixed in the mind and held there, with the determination to realize it, finally saturates the entire subconscious mind until it automatically influences the physical action of the body toward the attainment of that purpose. Follow these 2 steps for definite chief aim. Step 1. Carefully select your definite aim. Step 2. Write it and place it where you will see it at least once a day. Subconsciously, you will accept the correct patterns and create the blueprint to initiate the activities in life that will lead you towards your purpose. When you force your definite chief aim upon your subconscious, it is called auto-suggestion. A very similar example will be self-hypnotism. Do not be afraid of this, as most successful individuals used auto-suggestion to achieve greatness. If you observe a peanut seller, you will notice that he probably doesn't have a definite chief aim. This can be interpreted in different ways for different individuals, but hear this out. This peanut seller puts the peanuts in the bag, fries the peanuts, and sells the peanuts. He is organized and created a habit of doing this daily. If he uses the same mindset to create a habit elsewhere, he could use this energy to bring a greater return. Sometimes we settle for what makes ends meet without taking the risk of something better and greater. Think of this. If like attracts like, then if you subconsciously placed an aim, why can't you attract your aim? Concentration of effort and the habit of working with a definite chief aim are two of the essentials factors in success which are always found together. Lincoln concentrated on freeing the slaves. Gillette concentrated on safety razors. And Wrigley concentrated on 5-cent gums. It's important you understand the real reason for establishing the definite chief aim in your mind. First, every voluntary movement of the human body caused, controlled, and directed by thought through the operation of the mind. Second, the presence of any thought or idea in your consciousness tends to produce an associated feeling and to urge you to transform that feeling appropriate muscular action that is in perfect harmony with the nature of the thought. Pause and rewind if you need to hear this again. Write it out if needed and read between the lines. Desire is a factor which determines what your definite purpose in life shall be. One's definite chief aim in life should be backed with a burning desire for its achievement. Do you have a burning desire for your definite chief aim? These are the steps leading from desire to fulfillment. First, the burning desire. Then the crystallization of that desire into definite purpose. Then sufficient appropriate action to achieve that purpose. Remember that these 3 steps are always necessary to ensure success. This lesson will not be completed until you shall have made your choices as to what your definite chief aim in life is to be, and then recorded a description of that purpose in writing and placed it where you may see it every morning when you arise and every night when you retire. If your aim in life is vague, your achievements will also be vague, and it might well be added very meager. Know what you want, when you want it, why you want it, and how you intend to get it. Pause, rewind, write, and repeat that last sentence. Alright, so here are the specific instructions. Now it's time to think of your definite chief aim and to create your plan. Follow the steps in this lesson. First, carefully select your definite chief aim. Second, write down your definite chief aim and read it before sleeping and when waking. This must be followed by a statement in writing of the plan or plans through which you intend to attain the object of your aim. You must have a vision and a definite plan to back this definite chief aim. Your next and final step will be the forming of an alliance with some person or persons who will cooperate with you in carrying out these plans and transforming your definite chief aim into reality. Here's some key notes. Each member of your alliance must be supplied with a written copy of your statement of your definite chief aim. You are to keep the object of your chief aim to yourself. If you feel the need to change your plan, make these changes without hesitation. If you need to remove the individuals from your mastermind, do it without hesitation. You cannot succeed with disloyal, unfriendly associates. Success is built upon loyalty, faith, sincerity, cooperation, and positive forces. If you fail, it will be for the reason that some members of your alliance did not enter into the spirit of the alliance with faith, loyalty, and sincerity of purpose. Your definite chief aim should become your hobby. One word which should stand out in your mind related to this lesson is persistence. Complete the steps above before moving to the next lesson. Please take one day and until lesson 1 is completed before moving to the next lesson. In the next 24 hours, you will realize the importance of waiting one day before proceeding. You must read your definite chief aim before sleeping and when you awake. See you tomorrow.